Heath says he can still compete winning formula. Talks Derek Lunsford HADI Chupan 2020 for Mr. Olympia battle. The gift discussed what it takes to win at the highest level and previewed the rematch between Derek Lunsford and HADI Chupan at 2020 for Mr. Olympia. Bodybuilding legend Heath remains a student of the sport despite stepping away from the bright lights. In a recent Bradley Martinez Raw Talk podcast, Heath opened up on a potential comeback and discussed the rematch between Derek Lunsford and HADI Chupan expected at the 2020 for Mr. Olympia competition. Since HADI Chupan lost his title to Derek Lunsford at the 2023 Olympia, he has been fixated on redemption, even though he faced visa issues. HADI Chupan shined in Columbus, Ohio at the 2024 Arnold Classic, defeating Samson Dauda by 10 points with trademark conditioning. Veterans of the sport have labeled this package one of Chupan's most dangerous of his illustrious career. In the same month, Chupan traveled overseas where he rematched Dauda on UK soil. In the end, Chupan emerged victorious, establishing himself as the 2024 Arnold Classic UK winner. With momentum swinging in his favor, Chupan will rematch Derek Lunsford for the Mr. Olympia title this October. Heath, who has served as the commentator for the marquee event, previewed the action in an early look. Considering Heath was guided by Haney Rambo D, the coach of Lunsford and Chupan, he brings unique insight into their competitive rivalry. In addition, he laid out some of his own thoughts on returning to the sport. Heath says he could come back now. Breaks down Derek Lunsford vs. HADI Chupan 2020 for Mr. Olympia rematch, with Arnold Schwarzenegger raising the 2025 Arnold Classic Men's Open prize money to $500,000. Heath underlined that the sport's popularity is not waning. Arnold put up to $100,000 extra grand for Open, so it ain't dying, said Heath about bodybuilding. Open is still the king. It will be. Case in point. If you took CBUM out of it, would you still have the excitement? But you don't talk about him. Take him out of it. Dino's great, but Dino lost last week. There's new people. After witnessing Chupan's physique in Columbus, Ohio, Heath was blown away and couldn't contain his excitement for 2020 for Mr. Olympia. HADI Chupan looks sick. I think him and Derek are going to. I am very excited for the 60th. Let us put it like that, said Heath. Oh, it was probably lymph nodes or something. Lunsford's pointy lots probably had swelling. Part of the game, I guess. Looking back on 2023 Mr. Olympia, Bradley Martin asked Heath why Derek Lunsford had pointy lots. I was like, what the foo? Is this oil, says Bradley Martin. You ask yourself. Because I did. There's no way you can write. You don't have to. He already has great development. I think it's just lymph nodes. Heath believes the sport has become even more challenging because fans can slow down videos and pick apart significantly higher quality images. You are on display in 4K. People will slow it down, freeze it, and circle your sheet. They are really good cameras. Yeah, they are out there. It makes the competitors better. Who knows if it makes them more depressed or not, or more narcissistic, you know? Because you got to be a little bit crazy to just accept that reality of people always freeze framing your sheet. They don't freeze frame your sheet. When you ray in the gym doing your thing, they aren't going to be like, oh, this is where his forearm doesn't look the same as the other one, shared Heath. As for a potential return to the sport, Heath mentioned that he could come back now, but what FUCN for? Recovery is just, you know. It was painful for me. I could still come back now, but yes, said Heath. Yeah, I could still compete at Mr. Olympia level, but yeah, easily. It's just what FUCN for. Some things you just have to let go. You know? According to the gift, he still has the Olympia winning formula, as he understands the modalities and medications required to compete at the highest level. There will be somebody. No. He couldn't. If you lived in this body you would be like, yeah, because of the fact that I know what modalities work. I know what medications work as well. I have the data to prove what works. Then, it's just like what's the purpose? What's the drive? What's the end goal? You got to have an end at some point. You have got to say goodbye, and that's where I feel like a lot of athletes, especially in bodybuilding, they don't know when. Heath hasn't been the only bodybuilding mastermind to break down the HADI Chupan Derek Lunsford showdown. Expert coach Chris Aceto also gave his thoughts on Chupan's future following his recent pair of Arnold Classic victories. When assessing the field of open threats, Aceto believed that only Derek Lunsford or Andrew Jack could stop Chupan later this year. While Heath appears content with his bodybuilding accomplishments, he refuses to shut the door on a comeback completely. Nevertheless, he anticipates a close affair between Lunsford and Chupan when they take to the stage on the weekend of October 10th to 13th in Las Vegas, Nevada.